It was it Colorado or what happened where they were panning for gold?
So in Colorado, me and my brother decided to go hunting out there with my kid. You know, he was the only kid I had that called me dad. So I took him hunting. You know, I loved him. He was my baby boy. We got out there and there was people, so we sent him to the tree line and we're racking our guns and gonna run him off. There was a whole army out there, and not United States military, a whole army of just people, you know, and people that were men, and there were no women. There may have been one woman out there of 200 plus. I don't know how many. All I know is they picked my son up, they turned him upside down, and me and my brother begged for his life. Told him to kill me, told him to kill my brother, don't kill my son. And they started dangling him over a fire. There was a torch.
Were y'all handcuffed or guns to your head, or how did
guns to the back of our heads, and you know they were on our backs, 4 apiece,
holding you down physically?
Yes,
yeah.
and there wasn't nothing I could do. I fought like hell to try to get up, and it was hell, you know. And he dropped him in the fire, and we heard him scream. I told my brother when 2 people busted off him that if he gets free to run and don't let up, because I'm gonna kill everybody. For the majority and the most count, there wound up 54 confirmed deaths. But I never picked up a gun or a stick or a rock. I beat them to death all the way through them, 8 people at a time. It's on video. It's on video from top view. The president watched it. And we came back to Texas after I ran a whole army from my property from doing that shit. We couldn't do nothing for my son because he had perished as they held us on the ground. So I told him I would kill him. And when Austin broke off from me, 2 guys broke off of me, and I kicked the fucking knee up fucking back out of the fucking dude that was holding me, and the other dude that was holding me, dragging me to a fire, and I got up and I tore them the fuck up for so fucking long. It had turned night, and by the time I fucking got done tearing them up, it was the next morning. I tore them the fuck up, boy. There wasn't no getting through that. I wasn't fucking letting up. You can call me It Man. Shit, that's all I trained my whole life. I watched It Man movie after It Man movie, even made an It Man dummy. That shit tore me up hard. And then I had to relive that shit because every time I'd turn around, the army would pull the same shit. And it not AB, it was AC, but AC fucking, they didn't, you know, they would say that won't ever happen again, or this, that, and the other, and then there's another general or fucking some rank fucking burning my kid again. You know, that happened 4 and 5 times. Some of my kids have skins on them, you know, some of them perished, you know, and I never burned a single one of my kids, and my family even tried to say that I burned my fucking kids. It pisses me off. Some of those guys that burned my kids, they burned in the same fire they burned my kids in. And the fucking one of those guys got fucking executed fucking right by the fire that fucking the kid was in. And my uncle fucking saved him, fucking went up in the fire, you know. Laws fucking decided, I went and got 2 of my kids out of a fire out here in Mason, and Laws ran up in the property and decided to shoot my kid and my baby mama, and then decided to permit to shoot my fucking brother in the head, standing up asking me to go down in the dungeon because they had a 50-foot pile up on his fucking house, and shot him in the head, shot me in the head, then drug his wife and his kid outside and shot them in the head. And some of those laws still work in Mason today.
Well, where's the dungeon you're talking about?
The dungeon, we put Connex in the ground underneath his house because he had been burned before. They had burned him in his house before, and they got burned up. So we put 3 tiers of Connex. So if they got burned, they would have a way to get away from the heat. Well, it wasn't far enough. They got burned up, but they were still all right. They just needed skins, and they shot them in the head. You know, how the fuck are you gonna fucking put people back in their place after they do shit like that? You can't set somebody back in their seat. They need to fucking die. I was there all night long fucking, I done reaped the fucking field, fucking, I ran up out of that fucking pile up. I was inside that house. I ran up out of that fucking pile up and reaped everybody except the fucking 8-foot tall motherfucker I couldn't beat down. And he fucking chased my daughter after I told her to run. They had thrown my wife and my daughter was still standing there and I told her to run. And fucking, he chased her down and threw her in a fucking fire. And the biggest